Welcome. Welcome, guys. I'm back again with another stream. Let me pop out the chat so you can see the chat. Can I not zoom in? Yeah, I can. Look what I did. That looks kind of nice, right? And the thing is now, I basically changed my browser font to Iosefka, and yeah, it's so cool that yeah, it's like really cool because I always had that problem that I was basically working only with terminals, and then basically having a browser made that experience so much worse because you couldn't do shit, because it wouldn't like incorporate with the styling and different font. And I also have the corner radius literally set to 0 for the entire websites. Like every website will not have any corner radius. Okay, so look what I did. Basically, okay, yeah, something weird with my camera. Should be good. So we have this, and let me first show you. So there is basically this project. So let's see. There's this project. This project is what we're working on today. Okay, why did that not work? Cancelled. Oh, okay. Anyways, it's basically the instant messenger that I'm working on, and recently I did the UI and shit, I did the like text rendering, and it was like a bunch of work that we already did for like the client, and we implemented the whole thing in Vulkan. So let's actually run that quickly. Yeah, I'm currently using my own desktop environment. Like the dots are in the description. I made a dots file, or like dot file. Don't know how you call that. I made that, so you can look it up. Okay, Rust being Rust, and then basically what we are now doing is we want to actually not only have a client, we also obviously want a server, because that's like the entire point of a networking and messaging application. So yeah, and like the server architecture is written in C, so we're not doing Rust for that, and we're doing that today. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so yeah, the UI is still working. It's basically, yeah, we all have like all the primitives that we will need. Text layout is like the main thing that is like a very important thing. Yeah, and it's very fast. It's using Vulkan OpenGL, but Vulkan here, I think. Let me actually see. Yeah, we also have a very cool logging. So yeah, we're using Vulkan, and now like the new thing. Let's look at the new thing. Is Faith D, and Faith D is essentially the thing that's going to be running on a VPS and accepting all of the clients that will be using basically the messenger. And yeah, as you can see, I'm using Knob because yeah, I'm trying to do a better job than in previous projects, and I think a good beginning to that is to not use makefiles, right? I think we can all agree. You should definitely check out Knob, right? So yeah, should I put it in the description? I don't really have access to the description right now. Check out Knob definitely. And so let's actually build, right? So let's do a Knob. Hello. I didn't even bootstrap. Okay, so let's do that. And let's do a faithd-v for verbose. Okay, it needs a certificate file, so let's do chain. That basically generates the, but they are not like shown because they're git ignored. That generates the like crypt keys. Okay, and then basically the server is essentially just an TCP server that has TLS wrapped around it. It's basically TLS, and yeah, it previously was using, what the fuck is going on with my bar, by the way? Okay, it previously was using how's it called, like you had a while one, and then like it was basically wait for clients, accept client, handle client, close client, right? And this is synchronous. So this is what we did before, like what I didn't even stream that. And then after a while, I kind of got like a real concurrent model working, and I did a little bit of research, and apparently this is essentially done by epoll, because epoll is just a way where you can wait on multiple file descriptors without like needing to iterate all of them and like spending your CPU time basically checking each file descriptor of each client that is connected. Camera is working, right? Okay. And instead just wait on the ones that actually have events, and that's like the best way you can wait on file descriptors, like multiple ones on Unix. Like another way would be to create separate threads per client, but that's like insanely dumb, especially when you have more, like, I don't know, like thousands of clients, then you have like thousands of threads. So yeah, and it's basically able to listen, and then we can actually go in here and do a build/test suite. Right, and we're waiting for a server pong. Yeah, okay, we sent a ping and then we get a pong, and essentially, and it works, right? We currently have a epoll is the gold for real. For real. We currently just have a 10-second interval to ping pong clients and server. Yeah. And what I want to do now is, now that I have all of this basically wire bootstrap done, I want to actually have where's my file? Wait, let's pull it up again. I want to basically have this, right? And this is essentially envelopes. And envelopes is just sending data over TCP or like TLS, so I don't know what this fucking web technology is. Like, I don't know, I didn't really ever do network programming, so I have to kind of get used to it and not make my mind think that it's like web slop just because it's over the network, right? I have to distinguish it from other web technologies, because it's not web, but it's like close to it, right? It's much closer to it than like writing Vulkan code. Okay, so let's actually start by implementing those enums. So we can literally copy them. Right, so we have in shared, there are basically all of our enums in shared. By the way, you probably won't see the chat because I'm literally in front of it with the camera. So maybe you can see it now. Like that. Hope everything is okay with the audio. I can only stream in 30 FPS, by the way. I'm streaming at 120 FPS in like 4K or something. That's like insane, I know. YouTube is telling me that I'm pretty insane. Do we want an X macro for that? We probably want an X macro for that. So let's have a hash define faith. Should we call it like, because like env is very ambiguous, right? Because of environment. So let's call it something like envelope, I guess. Envelope. Do you write that like this? Envelope types. And let's have that be a faith envelope type. Yeah, let's do it like in here. So let's not write type again. Okay, so like hello. Hello, okay. Hello will basically be the message that a client sends when it wants to connect and wants to be online on our platform. Let's call that message send. All right. Like that. Okay, so let's line them up, I guess. Oh, can we? Yeah, we can actually line them up. Nice. Okay, they're all lined up. Okay, this is not. Oh my. No. Let's not. We can do it later. Okay, so deliver and acknowledge. So this is basically going to be sent by the server when it delivered a message that wanted to be sent by a send. Right. Okay, and then we can say error. Bro, it's so hot. Bro, what the fuck? It's literally 38 degrees. 38 Celsius in Fahrenheit. It's like 100 Fahrenheit, by the way. Let's crash Alacrity. No, it will no. You know, Alacrity is actually pretty... Alacrity is actually pretty bad at a lot of things. So I was even thinking about writing my own terminal again. I did that some time ago, but it's not really good. And now that I have a very good text system, I could actually do that because they're literally... Alacrity does not support ligatures. This font is supposed to have ligatures. Alacrity just doesn't support ligatures. It's insane. It's a terminal. Okay. Let's see. Tmax? Yeah, okay, but Tmax is like... It's still like in Alacrity, right? Okay, so faith and envelope types. Why is like... Okay. Faith envelope type T. And then let's just implement that. Faith envelope name. Faith envelope name. Oh. Type env. Sandy, welcome. Great to see you here. I think that's unshared. By the way, how do you like my color theme? Because I literally invented it. I think it's great. Yeah. I just used Google Color Picker and I kind of like went wild with it, and I think it's actually kind of a thing that I will stick to because I always like changed color theme. Gone deep into game engine and post-processing. Nice. Which font do you have for your chat? It's Iosefka nerd font. Looks like monochrome plus K-Dragon. What is K-Dragon, man? K-Dragon. theme. Oh, you mean Karga, this one? Okay. Let me see that. Yeah, it's also a cool theme, I guess. Yeah, it's basically monochrome plus those 3 colors. That's like the only thing that's the only change I made to monochrome. Beautiful though, thank you, man. Let's say Faith. Did we do? Yeah, we did do envelope. Oh no. All right, so and then we kind of need a client function to send an envelope. So do we want to literally have, or let's say send hello, and it will just be a way to yeah, essentially go online. Oh, the logs look nice. I always use GDB and prints. Using any formatter, Boost has a simple one I use, but custom one looks more fun, I suppose. You mean those logs? They're just from knob. Literally, so I do knob log info, and then I just write the client ID if there's like from a if it's coming from a client, right? But yeah, thank you, I guess. Okay, so how do we want to send a hello? So we literally have send ping. The question is send, like, look, the test suite is basically doing nothing except just doing next event. Yeah, so maybe we should so where's run connected? Maybe we should do that automatically. Like sending hello. Do we have something like connect? Yeah. Do we want to send hello here? We probably want to send hello here. So let's FC check. Why don't we check return, by the way? Probably because it's doing... okay. So let's FC check that with our client. And let's go into client.c, client. Yeah. All right, let's do the... By the way, it's... Do we do client? Oh, we do client. So it's... What is a problem with me in general is that I like to try out a lot of different... Wait. A lot of different coding styles. And none of them is actually like a single style, you know? For example, in here in the client.h and client.c, I don't like I type dev structs and enums, you know? And in faithd, I just don't. So in faithd, it's just like that. And what else? And yeah, like for accepting a client, I always say CL in the server, but then the client always say client. So I don't know if we have to fix that. We could probably say that they're separate code bases because they're literally separate code bases. Yeah, those cross animations are fucking nuts, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, no joke, like, how can you use them? Like, it's like ADHD or something, I don't know. Okay, so it's invalid when we don't have a client, obviously. And let's basically steal a lot of things from send ping. Wait. It's named very weirdly. Send ping SSL. This is like, why? Bro, I'm sweating so hard, dude. Like, Sorry that I wait, but like it's literally 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Like what the fuck? Okay, so we encode the ping into the payload. Okay, so what payload do we want for hello? Essentially we want a an envelope payload, and I think the envelope payload yeah. Let's make a function. Let's make a function, guys. Guys, let's make a fucking function, man. And let's call it faith encode envelope, right? And it will just encode an envelope, right? And we will definitely need this kind of we type def here. Making something close to HTTP2 or something which works like XMPP. It's essentially none of the above, I guess, because it's literally just I try to like make my protocol as non standard as possible, I think, because like there is no standard that is like very fitting. So why should I, like, for example, why should I implement HTTPS or HTTP over this server, like basically make it an HTTP server or S, when I can just like literally have my own kind of protocol, because the protocol that we're going to be using is like a messaging protocol, right? So, and I think there's something like the Signal protocol, so they are using that, but I don't know in like what kind of sense they're using it. Is it like over HTTPS, or is it literally their protocol that they are running over TCP? I don't know. I didn't look into that, but that's what we're doing. We're literally running our own protocol. Yeah, because HTTP is just, it's a binary protocol, yes. Yeah. HTTP is just very not needed. And it's just an abstraction that also puts the entire thing way too close to the web space, you know what I mean? And I don't want that. I don't want to be affiliated with any of that, so yeah. What country are you from? I'm from Germany. Okay, so we want an envelope type that makes sense, but let's have it a faith envelope type. By the way, I don't know if you can even see this, like those nodes here. Let's make them visible. Something like this. Okay, so let's have a type, and let's have a sender ID. I think I want to make that a do we want something like a type def UN64T, or literally a size, no, a UN64T client ID T, and let's have a client ID T sender ID. That's a good project if you want to get into HRT, I believe. What is HRT? I'm not familiar with those abbreviations, dude. Okay, so a recipient, a sender, and a type. Body size, should probably be a size T, because like why not? Let's say faith envelope. And we will obviously kind of probably, but I don't want to have it too fat like the envelope, but we will extend it, I think. High frequency trading. Okay. I don't really see how. Can you like explain? Because I don't know. Isn't like high frequency trading like trading essentially, like the stock exchange? Let's go gambling, yeah, man. Okay, so that's the envelope, and then we want to literally encode an envelope into a outbuff. So let's see, outbuff and size t, alt size. Do I have something like encoding functions already? Encode pong. Okay, so we put that in the front. Buff cap and bytes. What? Okay, so I think buff cap and let's see, encode pong. Okay, I get it. So it's literally okay. That's kind of tough that I did that. Let's just do that again. Yeah, but the exchange has to process so many order serialization, which I did. Ah, you mean that? Okay, yeah. Smart. Okay. That means all bitcoins blazingly fast. Yeah, dude. Yo, 2 Luigis in chat. That's insane. Never had that. Okay, buff cap and bytes, and then we probably need something like all of the arguments, literally. Do we... I think that's the best way to just provide the arguments, but... I don't know. I think it's not even like a very good way. Let's just have a... because of memory usage, right? Because if we had all of the arguments in a separate arguments, after each other enumerated, it would be weird to write. It would have a lot of arguments, but most importantly, we would have a lot of size, right? Because we would literally just pass this by value. So yeah, let's just not do that, essentially, okay? Let's just not. Okay, so let's have it like this. Where are you in Germany? I'm not going to tell you. Isn't blazingly fast a JavaScript term? Okay, maybe I don't know. What's your opinion on Zig as a programming language? I never tried it. Maybe I would try it. I could have wrote the server in Zig, but I love C too much, so I guess it's already not happening, right? Essentially not happening. But maybe another time. Maybe I'm doing a stream sometime. I'm going to be a real streamer and trying out shit like Zig for no apparent reason whatsoever. This literally just doesn't really make sense what I just wrote, but does it? Let's see. So okay, so we don't allocate here, so it does make sense. What about outsize? Yeah, okay, so outsize is not like is assigned after like the function runs here. Right, I cannot really think, I'm sorry, but we'll still go through with that. Let's actually not return, let's return invalid, right? And let's return faith awk, all right? Faith awk. Can we do arena allocation and see, like, what do you mean? No, you can't do that. Not possible. C does not have a way to allocate arenas. Yeah, it's like forbidden by the standard, by the C standard. There's like an arena standard for C, and it forbids memory arenas. But you can use Zig for that, I guess. So yeah. Okay. Nice. So let's do essentially the same thing. We can kind of copy that. Let's have it here. And let's have an env size is size of env. But is this a good thing? What do you think? Maybe we should just do size of faith envelope t. I don't know what I would like think of that. No Vulkan today? No. Because by the way, we already did the Vulkan, right? Because I didn't do it fully on stream. I don't know if you even know, but the Vulkan is literally fully implemented, like front to back. Like literally everything is implemented, man. It's almost 4,000 lines of code, and we can run in Vulkan and it displays and everything works like an OpenGL. Look, it's literally using Vulkan as a backend. I wish I had. Can I xi Boomer? And not credit the author. Joking. So it's basically an application that fellow Zozing made. I think many of you know that guy. Pretty cool guy. Let's actually see if I can. How do I build that? How do I build that? Nimble build. Okay. Nimble build. I hope it doesn't crash my window manager. Was that Arabic? Yes, because we are testing the whole text engine, yeah. Nice, yes, yes, yes. Do you have a full-time job? No, I don't have a full-time job. I'm going to school currently. Yeah. Okay, and then I can just Boomer. Can I please just build failed? Cannot open file OpenGL. Okay, so I think we don't have OpenGL dependency correctly installed. libgl 1 libgl GLTF. How do I install? Can I just say OpenGL? No. GL Broshki. Does any of you guys know? npm install OpenGL, please. What the fuck? This is like cursed as fuck. Someone actually using their brain instead of vibe coding. Such a rare find. God bless you. Thank you, man. A stupid question. Do you study the theory of what you are doing before the stream? Like, yeah, like I literally wrote down my concept, what I want to implement today. So yeah, kind of. But this is like actually the first time I kind of did that, because like in the last streams we were mostly doing the boilerplate, and that I just looked up the documentation of Vulkan. I would say text-based HTTP should be starting point and move to. I'm not using HTTP, so you don't understand. I'm literally not affiliated with HTTP. I'm not using it. I won't. Isn't Boomer written in Jai? Is it? Can you like? Did I clone the wrong repo? No, it's Nim. Aren't there like Boomer binaries? They're not. For additional developer capabilities, compile the application with the following flag. Okay, that's okay. But I wonder, I really wonder why I cannot. Okay, I guess no Boomer. Use XCB. Like for real. I did both, and yeah, use XCB. Okay, I guess back to slorching again with the protocol. I would like to have Boomer, but I don't, so cannot really do anything about it. All right, so let's first encode the envelope type. Now the question is, do we want that? I think we want that as a 16. But it's really hard to have that as a 16. What the? Okay, it's really hard to do that. Because we literally don't we cannot specify a type of an enum in C, you know? Bro, it's so hot. Why is it so hot, bro? Why? Okay, so let's maybe have this, and then let's just use the type. And then, okay, so client ID, this makes sense. What about the padding though? We have I think it's better to have it as a 32 actually, just because of struct padding and stuff like that. If I calculated that correctly in my head, you know. Okay. Let's actually also say if not env, we also want to like not do anything because we will dereference it. So let's say this will be the type, right? Yo, welcome Ansh. So I'm looking at those nodes here. So let's actually replace those nodes with what we actually did, because it's really weirding me out. So let's have them here. I think this is better. Like this ordering is definitely something we will be grateful for in the future. Don't you think? Okay, so type, let's have type and then sender, sender ID and then like receiver, recipient. All right. B, and those will be 64s. And let's say UN64T, or like we kind of need to, you know what I mean? Because this kind of doesn't really correctly imply the type, like the reason why we do this. I think it's just good measure. Recipient, and yeah, then the next one is body size and body. Okay. Yeah, I will secretly include a backdoor for arbitrary code execution. Like this is, I think I have already like 2 backdoors, but they are not really arbitrary code execution. They are more like, for example, I have a server, like a separate server from this server, and it basically gets pinged for every keystroke you will do in the client application, but it will not be disclosed in the Git repo, right? So it's literally like a separate server, and we will ping it from the client, but it will not be disclosed. So yeah, that's like the main thing we will do. But I don't know, maybe like you have other recommendations for backdoors we can implement. Okay. Body size. Oh, true. So let's say, okay, now our comment actually makes kind of sense, right? Yeah, I think it makes sense. Phone is getting warm. Fuck. Like it's literally so warm. Why are you using Big Endian? You literally have to. you have to if you want to send it over the network with TCP TLS, right? Or am I doing this wrong? Because everyone is doing it like that. That's like just how you encode the shit to write over the network, right? Okay, so this, and do we want to have something like, I think we need something like an offset. It's your preference. Like, can you literally not care at all? Wait, yeah, okay. You can really not care at all, right? Because you can literally decode it in Little Endian as well. But I mean, is there any like difference? I don't know. Like, is there a difference? If there is, I don't know. Like, maybe we'll just rewrite it and like reverse the bytes. Let's have something like an offset, I said, right? So let's say plus offset, and plus offset. You don't have to. There are some things that are necessary, like IP, ECC, but you define your own protocol. You can do whatever. Yeah. You don't have to, but usually networking stuff is written for BE. Use it. Bro. Okay. I'm going to use it. Right. Use AI. Is this like the way you can ban someone on YouTube? I don't No. Can you please leave the stream? Anyway, you can do whatever. LE is one instruction less on Little Endian systems to decode/encode. Yeah. Sorting last word recreation. What is sorting last word recreation? Like, what is his what? Sorting. App image. Okay. What, like, I don't know what you mean by that. Anyways, okay, so let's say problem is that we use size t, so I think we should just not do that in network code. Is this like a thing? Because size t is like machine dependent. You should probably not use it in like the protocol. Or am I like wrong? Can someone tell me? Let's just not, because it feels weird. U32 KS probably big enough. Probably. But yeah, probably. You're right. You're right, Mr. Luigi. Thank you for helping a fellow coder. We should help, we should like go back to helping fellow coders instead of trying to let us being helped with by AI, right? Am I right, gamers? Can you explain a little the DE? Bro, I'm literally sweating. My hair is fully wet, by the way. Can you explain a little the DE/serialization code and all the cool macros? What do you mean by DE? Do you mean like the desktop environment? And what macros? Like the X macro is basically a way where you can print macros in a cool way without like having to write the macro all of the time. So you just define this with X, and then you define X like basically however you want, right? And then you can define it like, for example, like name is equal to value, and name and value being hello, the arguments or like the values from envelope types, right? And then you undef x again, so that this is not the thing anymore for the rest of the source code. And now you basically have this translated into real enum syntax, and then you can do the same thing, but for syntax that will print the enum in here. So yeah, that's basically the thing. What is your pros and cons of using nmap map? Bro, I'm not going to answer that. It has nothing to do with what I'm currently doing. And I don't even use map or mmap. Yesterday I used my path tracer, and later after the renderer finished, the room got hotter by 5 degrees. Insane, man. Heiko Cry, I joined your videos. 48 people, that's great for streaming, dev coding on YouTube. Yeah. 48 people actually watching? 49 watching, let's go. Let's fucking go, guys. But just 27 likes, you can do better, guys. I think you can do better. Okay, outsize is equal to the env size. Yeah, did I do everything correctly for now? Yes, we have the offset, then we just, that doesn't make sense. What the fuck did I do? So good thing to check your code after you wrote it, actually. Then you do this, and then you do this, and this, and this, and this. I think that looks kind of good. We don't need this anymore. That doesn't look good, by the way. Probably can even leave them as 32s for now, because as Luigi said, it's not really needed, right? At this point, why not make, right? Take a pointer to the offset to increase it automatically. True. Would be kind of cool. But it's like, it's not really a good, yeah, I don't know, it would be fun in here, but in general we don't really need the offset too often, and like having an offset if you just want to write one value is like very annoying and shit, so yeah, let's not do that. But still, I think very skilled idea, right? Okay, so we can actually increase the offset. Brovsky. So let's increase the offset, and let's just say at outbuff plus offset, we want to so the thing needs to be large enough to hold, like the outbuff needs to be large enough to hold both the like header information and the body, right? I think that's the good design that we will need. How's your Vim clickable? It's just envy chat. Why is, stop asking, like I will ban the word Vim. Learned C back then in college about 10 years ago, I guess. Now I kinda don't remember how I passed. Can't imagine myself writing in C now. Yeah. Hey, if you explicitly set the struct paddings, you can just send the whole struct. For real? But I think that's not how you should do it. Like it kind of doesn't really sound like a very good idea. But I'm not a network guy, so yeah. All right, so let's have the body and the body size. Let's just do that, just for good measure. Right, and this is like a thing that is not correct, because we essentially just want the size of the env header. This is like the minimal size we need. Because like it's taking, you know, it's taking in the actual body as well. So could we not? Let me think. But on the other hand, buff cap and bytes should always be enough to store a whole envelope. Also, one that has no body, and an envelope that has no body is just still the same size as one with a body, because there's like the body pointer and it's just set to null. So yeah, I think that still makes sense. What distro are you using? First time viewer? I'm using Void Linux with my dot files, which are like heavily self-made, I guess. You can look, the dot file is up in the description, yeah, but like pretty hard to install, actually. Is the stream quality normal? Yeah, I think. Okay, my phone is kind of overheating. Let's actually turn off the camera here, because I didn't like set up my phone to charge. So yeah, I don't want to break my phone actually. It's very hot phone. Okay, should still work. So no cam. I'm sorry. My nvim config is literally just nvchat. Just nvchat. Okay. Yeah. So this makes sense. Although this makes sense. This makes sense in my opinion. You should probably do something like. Yeah, let's not read all of that. So you should probably do something like env body. So if it's not even, like if we don't even have a body, then let's not do that. And also probably just do this. Okay. Yeah, nice. I think I didn't forget anything. Hey, if you have some time, could you explain a little the network architecture and how you frame the message? All right, so essentially what we are doing, I think the best way to show that is in here. What the fuck is that? Why is my phone doing that? Hello frame or read frame? I think it's kind of easy to see here. Or let's say write frame, right? Write frame is, yeah, it's even documented. Okay, so as you can see, we have this header. we have this header, and it's specifying the frame size, the protocol version, and the message type of the frame message, essentially. And this is like 8 bytes, the header. And yeah, then we do that, and yeah, essentially the frame size is just the size of the entire frame, excluding the frame size variable. So that's just a thing I chose. And yeah, so then we write the header, right? So that's the header of the messages, and then we just have the payload. Protocol version. Yeah, I know. This is a very good comment because I literally thought the same thing, but I was like, this project is going to go somewhere. And look, I even have, I think it's in shared, right? Look. Wait, version. Yeah. kind of cool, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I saw something. Let's say right ping. Hello. Right frame. We kind of did this check, so let's do the same check again. So let's say body size and body not equal null. Alright, so this is encoding an envelope, and now that we have an encoded envelope that is probably hopefully safe, because I checked a lot, we can actually now send an envelope. For example, a hello envelope. Brovsky, thank you. Right, okay, so let's send an envelope, I guess. Right, so let's say, we should probably heap allocate that. I didn't heap allocate the entire, so let's say encode ping. Look, I didn't heap allocate it here. Probably should. Should I? Luigi, you know C, what is your opinion? Should I heap allocate those 8 bytes? Or like 16 bytes? Is this peer-to-peer or does it have a central server? Yeah, do not use variable, I don't know, like size allocation or something like that. What does that stands for? Probably like variable, like the L does make sense to me, right? It's basically not peer-to-peer. Like it's like a normal messaging app, right? So you have a you have one client and it sends encrypted data to the server, and it's basically, I want to use double ratchet. I don't know if you know about double ratchet. That's basically the E2E strategy I will use. So essentially it has a central server, yes, but that's not like any like security concern, I think, because it's like E2E. You can just put an, yeah, I know. Variable length array. Thank you, man, for the thing, right? So I hate this macro. Why did I wrote it like that? I hate it. Can I not essentially literally do this? ASCII. Probably not the best thing to do. Wait. Okay. Right, okay. Yeah, like this what I thought, because it's const, right? And it's also this is compile time known, right? But still, I think it's like variable length array allocation is pretty like not a thing you want to do, right? So let's just not let's just have this in our standard. We're not doing VLAS. So that's just a standard. You can't like argue against that. I just decided that, so yeah. Envelope. And we want to encode envelope. And then let's have a envelope. Question is, do we want to have the env in here? Can I do this, by the way? Is this? I think it. Oh, nice. No, we kind of need IDs for clients. Right, we kind of need, but we don't really want the client, like we don't want the client to send their own sender ID, right? I think what we want to do is to have just an empty envelope that just has the typeset and envelope hello, and the rest is basically not set. And then if we get a hello from a client on the server, then we know, okay, that client has it, and then we can just add it to our hash map of online clients, right? Right. Okay. So that's what we want to do, and then we can basically do size of env, right? Should by the way do that, and then say the same thing here. Let me drink. It's like literally dying. I like how you argue about those 16 bytes. Yeah, pretty cool. Keep going. Is this Neovim? Yeah, Neovim. Brovsky, am I not storing SSL per client? I think I'm actually not. Okay. Hello? Bro. That's not something. It's called here where we have SSL and SSL, where is it coming from? Okay, so we're not storing that per I guess we don't really need to, right? So, all right, but where is the connected? Oh fuck! Ah, that's a thing. That's a thing. I guess it's worth to do this. Probably a better way to do this, but yeah. Okay, so let's accept SSL here. And that's essentially not expose the entire function, because I don't really think of a reason. Do I? Yeah, I don't know. Not yet, so let's not expose it yet. And SSL. What's your problem? Static declaration follows send hello. Okay, we do it here. Alright, so let's just say send. Hello? Hello? Hello guys, I'm sending you a hello. Right, SSL. I think we won't basically implement the entire thing, right? I think it won't happen because I have to go at like, yeah, like about 26 minutes. So let's speed up, guys. Let's fucking speed up. So let's SSL. And we want to write not a ping, we want to actually have a new message. We want to have a message env. I think it's good. A name anvil. Fucking anvil. Let's call it anvil. Right. Okay. We're having fun, right? We do cool word jokes. It's a fun stream. Okay. Envelope. The payload is essentially correct, should be correct. Payload size should also be correct. And then we actually write the bytes to SSL. Cool, cool. One thing I don't get. Can someone explain? We encode the bytes in Big Endian, right? Like a good programmer apparently does. But why don't we need to encode the memcopy bytes, or like the bytes that we memcopy, as Big Endian? I don't get that. Like, why does it fucking work? because it just worked. By the way, the main thing I used to implement the entire server, let me see if I can find it. I think that's... yeah, this one. Is it? Yeah. So I think it's either from Wolf SSL themselves or from someone who just likes Wolf SSL. No, it's from them. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. But I use OpenSSL. There's nothing special about Big Endian, it's just something you choose to do, and if you decide not to encode a chunk of it, it works the same. The bytes arrive in the same order you send them. Like, okay. So why do we even encode the bytes? Like, why? Look. This thing, yeah, I remember it. So, wait, do they have, I think Wolf SSL has the thing. BE? Where did I get that from? Bro. Endian. They don't... no way. Yeah, basically what they did is just like this, right? And yeah, so this is what this function is doing, but just in a loop. I don't know, I just feel it's cool and I just wanted to do it in a loop. But so you're telling me I could just have the order just reverse and it would not make any difference? Is that the case? Could I just do the order like but reversed? I think I could, right? Because if we do the encoding and decoding in the same way, it just literally doesn't make a difference. Yeah. 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 Okay. It's in fact my protocol. But why is there, like, I never like really got into this. I just like didn't really care about that. But why is there even this talk about big and little endian? Like, I know like there are big and little endian machines. Yeah, but like why doesn't like everyone just do little endian? I feel like little endian is just the normal thing you would do, right? Why did anyone have the idea to just reverse the bytes essentially? With big endian, you know how big your data approximately is before reading. Ah, true. No, bro. Because the most significant bytes comes first. Okay, but approximately, right? Okay. I get it. Big endian is more intuitive. Okay, I think the endian debate is not really... like, I get it now, thank you for everyone for explaining it to me. But it's not something that actually matters. It's literally like any other debate. So let's not worry about that. So, okay, so we sent a frame and we sent a payload as well. We encode the envelope. Okay. Let's see if we do any FC checks. No, we don't. Right, so this should compile. Don't we log anything when we... Okay. Let's just try to send a hello. Right, so let's just try to send it a hello. Because I think everything should be looking good now. Oops. Okay, so send hello. Bro, what is with my fingers? I think it's the heat. Sending hello. All right. No, go reveal yourself. For real. Thank you, man. Very good. Cool arrow. Based arrow. Yo, you're cultured using knob, not good. Okay, let's see. Let's start Mr. Server and let's start Mr. Test Suite as well. Okay, so it sent an hello. It went okay, apparently. It went okay. But of course we don't respond to an hello, so we should probably decode, like have functionality to decode the hello. Okay, so decode ping. So the thing is, let's right? Let's actually have this be way better. Let's actually have this be a switch, I think. And then let's have this be something like static faith. Let's make it a void first and then decide. Send Pong. And then, by the way, here we are in a... Okay, so it showed returning face status code. We are in an entirely new, right, so like code base and style conventions, so we have to like figure out how this works here. That's what I was talking about earlier, right? Okay, so frame. Okay. And we will need a faith client. It's also, is it? Wait, I think it's even like not a faith client but a client. Oh god, fuck no. We should call every client T connection T, am I right? What do you say, guys? Anyways, okay, so server send Pong. Okay, so there is a server send Pong, okay, but passing construct client, okay. I think we should be able to have it as const, right? Bro, my Anvil, I'm fat fingering, you know? NQ output, that's okay, valid. Okay, let's pass that down. Wait, why is this? Okay, let's just mirror that order. I already decided on it. Return faith awk. Should be called client connection. Yeah, I feel like that, but not like this. Like this is a bad reason actually. Let's call it client connection. Wait, fuck. Do we use? No, we don't. No. Okay, client conti. Am I right? This is like the actual best naming convention here. So let's say message ping. Case faith message ping. In that case, what the fuck? Do I have to do that? Okay, I guess. Okay, then I guess we can just not use any parentheses. So let's say fc check return server sent pong epth cl and frame break case faith message env. Yeah, it's actually kind of cool because we can say anvil. Theoretically, team names are reserved for POSIX types, so be prepared for your compiler to nuke your project in the next hour. I always use _t like in all of my projects actually, yeah. So question mark plan. I mean exclamation mark or like I don't care. Yeah, like the plan is to get the enveloping. Okay. Yeah, it just looks cool. Yeah, for real. What does fc check return do? This. Just logging and returning. All right. So, and let's say server. Now we should probably have something like handle envelope because yeah, this can like literally have everything. Because yeah, we need a handle envelope. Actually, it's like almost like a frame. It's like a big thing. Okay. Can we like my plan is to just, because I have 11 minutes left, my plan is to essentially get the basically acknowledgement of hello working, right? All right. Let me, by the way, do a little bit of a if not CL or not frame, return faith error, and yes, it is necessary to do that. Even if the control flow implies that this will never happen, it's still necessary. Okay, thank you. Okay. Why did you put an integer before the client connection in your function arguments? Is that integer more important than your connection? It's like I said it before, like it's because I chose to do it in handle frame and I don't want to revert my choices in that. Yeah. May not be the best thing. I don't know, maybe we will. You're actually right. Let's revert the changes now on like the choices. You're actually right, because it will just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And eventually I will be like, what the fuck did I do here? Why did I do that? Look, I actually do it every, like, this is correct, right? Okay, so yeah, let's keep this refactoring very like small scoped, right? Because again, I have 9 minutes left and I'm already trying to fix all my previous errors, so let's not do that. Like, I mean styling errors, you know. By the way, is there some cool thing like, I think Clippy, is it called Clippy? In Rust, like the formatter, basically. And I think it's not called Clippy. Maybe I'm mixing up things, but there is like Rust format. Clang tidy for C. Thank you, man. Let's note that down. C formats. All right. Let's see. So, okay, handle envelope. We want to basically check. By the way, where do we decode the ping? In here. All right. Okay. Yeah. This. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Okay. So let's have a decode envelope. Face status code. Decode envelope. Const uint8t. Payloads. Okay. And yeah, we probably want to have a we probably want to have a struct. That's actually not a struct. Faith envelope t o envelope and return faith ok. If not payloads or where did I had that? I had a very cool solution to that somewhere. Probably here, right? Actually not. Yeah, because like, if not payload, and then like, and then essentially what I'm trying to do, because if not payload and so let's say if not payload, if payload size is in fact 0, then let's just faith ok, because should we, like, I think we should faith ok in here because it's not that deep, right? It's not that deep. I mean, we should just ignore that essentially. And then in here, we just do faith around valid. Okay. If it comes so far, someone either is using a makeshift client or there's a bug somewhere. What's the stream schedule, by the way, so I can join, watch at this, so I can join to watch at the stream. Okay, okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't really have a stream schedule. I cannot even say the word. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't really have one because I'm not like unemployed yet. So maybe in the future, but currently I don't really have a schedule. Yeah, I know that it's like a very, very autistic and very defensive function writing, but I like to be on the safer side, you know. So you're not a web dev? No, I'm not a web dev, dude. not a web dev. Okay, let's actually try to decode that Scheiße before we run out of time. By the way, Luigi, what do you say? Should we define, like, should there be a kind of proto.h that just defines all of this? Like, for example, a ping or a like envelope, and then like because we have it for the envelope, but I mean for the ping and shit, like would you do that, or would you just have the ping size always like that? It's a question, right? That's the question. Envelope size, a size of just implementation detail. Yeah, I think ping is a thing that should be defined, but I don't know. It's like so like low level, you know what I mean? Because ping and pong, like I don't know. You should just raise an error. You mean return an error, right? Raise an error? Okay, what the fuck is up with that song? Let's not change it because I don't have any time left. Let's see, where do we write that? Okay. Hey, a very cool thing you can do with what you want to be super protective is handle errors when you think they can happen and use asserts when you want to ensure that something impossible never happens. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Brovsky. What is up with that keyword? Oops, I think I made a big mistake. Look. Why are you making the? Because I want to do the networking in a very like from scratch fashion, and I didn't like probably it's like easily as like you can also do it in Rust, but like if you do it from scratch, then why not do it in C? Because like you have to use like the sockets and like all of those things that are like unsafe, and like it's very I don't really want my server to be Rust based, you know. I want my server to just be a simple C program that I can control and know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, and then like the client is C based, and then I will like use FFI with Rust eventually. Okay. So we can decode that thing. I kind of want to have a dopamine, you know, because I kind of want to know that we have like done something. So let's actually, okay, so we can decode that Scheiße. And okay, but we kind of need to also decode the right, we need to also decode the body. Okay. You know that this is like bad, you know. Let's not do that. We kind of can we no, like this doesn't really make sense. Okay, body plus offset, and then like payload plus offset, and then we want to say payload size. No, body size. Okay, so here's the body, and then we copy the body into our body. Okay, there are probably many errors in this code, but let's just kind of say OENVL is equal to okay. Okay, we want to decode that, and then we want to say faith envelope ENVL. Oh fuck. Okay. And then we want to say switch on envl type default break case and case faith envelope hello. Then we want envelope. Okay, I thought I made a mistake. That's like no block info. And then let's, where's our client thing here? All right. Getting closer, getting closer. Okay, so then we got a hello, essentially, right? And then let's say free envelope dot body if envelope body equal no, not equal no. Okay, and then send hello. Does that even send? Okay, it writes a frame correctly. Nice. All right, so what about encode envelope? Does it correctly do everything? Type should be correct. All right, and then let's see in here, handle frame. Memory leaks are memory saver. Non-use after free, no double free. So in the future, I suggest you no longer free variables. What? Why? What do you mean, why? Like, isn't it like if you don't use a memory allocator, then why should you not free at all? Like, because of heap fragmentation? Pretty insane stance, am I right? But okay. So we will probably not get a null. Why the fuck did I just do that? Let's fucking go. All right, first envelope implemented. Nice stream. Very cool, very cool. We did it. 144, nice. All right, so that's what I wanted to achieve. Perfect. Guys, thank you everyone for watching, right? Thank you. Very cool. I hope you liked it and maybe you learned something. I definitely learned something, right? Definitely did, but I really need to go. I need to clean my entire apartment before my parents actually go into the apartment. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Yeah, so bye guys and peace out.